Hey everybody, welcome to Cheap Comic Collector. This is number 423, and a few things to talk about today before we get started looking at some comics. And first of all, in case you haven't noticed, we have a new series of videos on my channel called Cheap Comic Collector Presents. And since this is a Sunday episode, I wanted to plug that a little bit. They debut at 6 p.m. Every Sunday night. And we are currently working our way through the original 1943 Batman serial. Um, and I don't recommend that you watch that you binge watch them, just because the format of the serial doesn't work well that way. I mean, if you'd want to do like one day, something like that, it probably would work better. But a lot of serials, they repeat material from episode to episode to remind you what happened before. So some serials can be very repetitive. I don't think that's been the case so far with Batman. I haven't seen much of that. Um, but I know some of the other serials are like that. So 6 o'clock tonight, if you want to join me for that. It is a recorded episode, so you're not really joining me, but you know what I mean. um, I think we're up to episode 3, so it's not too late to get caught up on that. But there's 15 chapters altogether, so we're presenting one a week every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Also, wanted to talk about Whatnot a little bit. Why not Whatnot, as Ray would say. And well, I came up with 10 reasons why I don't like Whatnot, but I do like Whatnot. I get great books off of Whatnot, but I did find 10 things that I find kind of annoying about Whatnot. Number one is sellers that don't show up for their shows. I can't think of anything more annoying than that, because you're sitting there waiting for the show to start. You don't know if they're coming. You don't know if they're just running late. You don't know if they're going to start in a few minutes or a half hour from now or never. And you're just screwed. You basically looked forward, maybe planned your day around it, and they don't even bother to show up. Can't type a message in chat saying, "Hey, sorry guys, no show today." Just nothing. So that's obnoxious, very annoying. Number two, rude sellers. I mentioned a while back one seller that I won't be buying from anymore, and wasn't extremely rude to me, but I've seen ones who are rude, very rude to their people. I seen one where the guy was at the end of the show, it was a claim show, so you cashed out the end of the show or whenever you wanted to, and the guy thought that this one guy wasn't there anymore, and he started calling him all these nasty names and swearing and blah, 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 blah. Well, the guy was still in chat. Yeah, he was going to cash out. He just, sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes you have a problem getting your credit card out or whatever. I don't know. But I mean, the guy apologized, but what a jerk. What a jerk. And there's a lot of people on there like that. I mean, the box doesn't sell for a high enough. I've seen one guy, he just canceled his whole show because his first flat rate box didn't sell for as high enough as he wanted it to. I mean, it's just, people complaining about whining, complaining about what the books are going for. If you don't like it, don't sell them. Put them for a higher price if you want a higher price. It's just stupid, just dumb stuff. Number three is background music, which sometimes is not very backgroundy. Sometimes it's loud. You can't even hear what the seller's saying. You don't need music on your show. If people are just hanging out and not buying anything, then those people might appreciate music. I don't. I'd much rather turn your sound off and play my own music than listen to whatever crap you're turning on. So, just take it easy on the music. You don't need it. You're there to sell books, not entertain, right? It's not I mean, I try to make these, I try to entertain on my shows a little bit, but at the end of the day, when I'm selling books, I'm trying to sell books. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want people to feel comfortable and hang out, that's great. But everybody has different tastes in music, you know, and sometimes the music's not very family friendly either. So, uh, uh, like I said, you can't understand what the seller's saying, and you can't understand, and sometimes they want to sing to you, and they're not. I guess I've done that a few times, but I mean, come on, it's just a joke for the most part. These guys are like. Mm. There's this one guy in particular that just sings throughout his whole stream, and I have to turn him off. I have to turn the sound off. I do that a lot, actually, unless I'm in a claim sale where I have to hear what they're saying about the book or verifying what I'm claiming on, so I have to be able to hear them. A lot of times when I'm watching whatnot, I will turn the sound off, and I don't hear anything they're saying, and so yeah, and normally it's because they're either playing music, which is annoying, or they're annoying, or whatever, because a lot of times, well, we'll get to that one. That's number 8 on the list. And these items are in no particular order. They're just things that I thought of that are kind of annoying for whatnot. Number 4 is, stopping a stream to cater to one person. Somebody new will come into the room. You've already bought books. You've already paid for your shipping or even your flat rate shipping. So shipping's free for the rest of the show. But some guy will come in and say, "Do you have Batman 423? Oh, let me check." And they'll be gone for 5 minutes checking to see if they have a book. And they'll come back and the guy will say, "Well, do you have Batman 424? And so they'll go check again. It's like, no, man. I was in one stream where this guy derailed the stream for over a half hour. And I didn't leave because I've got free shipping for the rest of the show. But I couldn't get anything because they weren't showing anything. They were trying to cater to one person when they already have 6, 7, 8 people in there buying stuff that would have continued to buy. And we can't because they decided to let this guy derail their entire show. And he didn't buy anything. So, and then they'll come back, they'll show a couple more books, and they're like, "Well, we're out of time. That's the end of the show." It's like, what? Just super annoying if you're trying to buy books. The invoicing receipt system from Whatnot is terrible, especially if you're buying a lot of books. If you're only buying from one seller at a time, occasionally buy this, occasionally buy that, it's fine. But for me, buying a ton of books, it's terrible. I got to go back through hundreds of listings to find the books as they come in, to see what I actually paid. Because, first of all, a lot of sellers don't even send you an invoice or anything. It's just a box of books. And then you got to look at the tracking number, the date that it was shipped, and then that kind of gives you an idea, and then you got to go find it. Sometimes their name is not the same as the seller name, so you don't quite know. You got to end up looking for the tracking number on each individual one. Whatnot does not make that easy to do. You got to click on each individual purchase to find a tracking number. And if you don't open it in a new window, then and you try to go back, it resets at the top, and you got to find your place all over again. It's just the invoicing receipt system is not very good. At least not for what I do. Number 6, I have written down waiting on bags. I think it says bags. Waiting on bags. I'm not sure what that means. Obviously meant something to me. I've been compiling this list for a little while. Waiting on bags. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody just mentioned that they weren't going to ship right away because they were waiting on bags or something. I don't know. Um, uh, I don't care if the books are bagged and boarded. Quite honestly, although I have seen, and this isn't the same thing, but I've gotten quite a few sellers who will use the same bags I do that you get for free from USPS, and they'll put the books in the box, and then they'll just tuck these around it. They'll fold it in half and like put one on each side or on the ends and stuff to provide a little bit of protection. Why don't you just put the books in the bag? I don't understand, and then sometimes they'll seal them. I had one guy who will seal the bags to each other so you can't reuse them, and then wrap them around the books. You can just put the books in the bag. So that's kind of weird. But anyway, number 7 is moving shows, which is akin to not showing up for your show, but a little bit different because they will reschedule the show an hour later and then not show up, and then reschedule the show for 2 hours later and not show up, and then reschedule the show for the next day and not show up. Now, they're there because they're rescheduling the show, right? So what is going on? I saw there was one guy I was really kind of looking forward to his show because it sounded like he might have some really good stuff. It was just like his first flat rate show, and he did that. He moved it to later in the day, the next day, 2 days later, and then the next time he moved it to like a month later. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, maybe you got something going on in your life, but a lot of these guys do that. A lot of these guys do the no shows and the moving the shows and then not showing up. They're not all having problems. Okay, it's just they just don't care that much to show up. I guess. Number 8 is swearing. Some of these sellers have the biggest potty mouths I have ever heard, and I have heard some big ones with all the people I've worked with over the years. But, nothing like this. Another reason for me to just turn the sound off and not listen to you. Number 9 is the shows that show the adult books. If you're scrolling through the shows, they're just there, boom, right in your face, and nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy those kind of books, that's fine. But I do wish things were a little bit more family friendly on whatnot. I mean, anybody can go on here and just basically be scrolling through shows on their phone and whatever, or maybe you're at work and you're on your break and you're just scrolling through and all of a sudden this is on your screen. It just things that it seems like there should be a little more control over, or maybe a separate section or something, but whatever. And number 10 is one that doesn't bother me too much, but somebody else suggested it to me because I was trying to come up with a 10 list. But and that is when buying seller to seller. So you're on a show, the books are cheap, and you recognize the name that keeps outbidding you as another channel on Whatnot. Kind of sucks, but that's free enterprise. That's the way it kind of works, and I can't complain too much since I sell most of the books that I buy. But it does get annoying when especially if they're relentless. If they're like buying every box and you just outbidding you on everything and not even giving you a mercy uh, a mercy letting you win type thing, you know, especially if they're another seller. And usually those guys, and I'm not talking about the guys that are just, you know, whatever. I mean, nobody's going to buy this box and then sell it as cheap. So what these guys are doing, I'm talking about the bigger channels that are selling books for 10, 20 and up. If they're bidding on a flat rate box for $20, $30, because there's good stuff in there. You've seen some of the stuff I've gotten, Silver Age, whatever. I mean, they're going to make their money back on one of those books at what they sell them for. And, yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But anyway, that's my 10 reasons, 10 things I don't like about Whatnot. But the one thing I do like about Whatnot pretty much trumps all the reasons not to like Whatnot, and that is I get fantastic cheap books. So let's go up top and look at some comics. All right, where are we at today? Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I hope you showed up for my birthday party on Friday, and you saw the claim sale on Saturday and got something nice you like, and all that good stuff. So the books we're looking at today I got from the Collective on Whatnot, but they are also a local store, so I can go pick up the books most of the time. But I don't know what I paid for these precisely. Would have been around $1, perhaps less. And this one I'm actually going to keep. I thought this was an issue of Green Goblin, and I was going to sell it. But it turns out it is a variant, Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpiece variant cover for Amazing Spider-Man 76. And I do collect Amazing Spider-Man, and I love the Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpiece series. And I need this issue. So I will keep that one. I wonder if I have my Marvel Masterpiece cards conveniently located here. So we can look at the original card. I think this was a later series, actually. Yeah, because these are different artists. The original series was all Joe Jusko, I think. I have a collection of Marvel cards, but I'm not really into them like I was at one point. And for some reason, I am not seeing the original cards. Maybe they're in a different binder. Oh well, never mind. We'll look at those someday. Someday in the future. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one, but this is from 2021, so it's not the current series, but it looks pretty cool. I haven't actually read much of the modern stuff, so I want to get quite a bit of it, because it looks like, so many of these modern series they're so different than what I used to read that I'm kind of lost just going through them an issue at a time. But I'm going to keep that one, so I'm going to set that to the side. And for the most part today, we're going to be going through some Classics Illustrated, because there's a whole bunch of these in here. There's more than half a short box of Classics Illustrated. This is the Buccaneers, number 148, 15-cent cover. It's got a St. Clair Antique Mall sticker on it. And since it's an older book, we should probably examine the condition a little bit, at least. Looks like it might have a loose centerfold. Let's see. Some pages sticking out here, kind of. No, they're not. They're not loose. It does have a bit of a rolled spine, but it's actually in pretty nice condition for a Classics Illustrated. There's no major rips or tears or chunks missing. Just some soiling and yellowing, but not too bad. For, like I said, for a Classics Illustrated. So that's cool. Number 148. And number 20, 15 center, the Corsican Brothers. That's cool too. And that's actually a different size. Look at the size in the books. There's about a 1/4 of an inch difference in the width. And then this one is like about the same amount taller than this one. That's funny. Here is number 2. Wow. Ivanhoe Classics Illustrated number 2. I don't see a price on it. And of course, as we know from earlier episodes, the Classics Illustrated were reprinted many times. They're hard to know like what version you're actually looking at a little bit. This one was taped or is taped. Yeah, so there's some yellowing from the tape. The cover is loose. This is number 2, and the reorder number on the back flap only goes up to 64. 10 center. This may... it's an early version of number 2. I don't know. I mean, there's no price on the cover that I can see, but it says in the back on here that they're 10 cents when you're ordering them, so I assume it would have been a 10-cent cover. This might be one of the original printings, although it seems like the reorder is a little high for that, so maybe like a second printing. That's pretty cool. You got number 90, Green Mansions, 15 center. So I'm gonna, unfortunately, I should actually open all of these just to see what kind of, make sure, see if it's connected, see if whatever. Or maybe I should just leave them all out of bags for now. So I could show them better in this claim sale. I don't know. I don't know. Classics Illustrated are kind of what you get. This one is number 29. Somebody put a 25-cent sticker over the original price. The Prince and the Pauper. Good story. Number 100, Mutiny on the Bounty. Mr. Christian. And here's number 3, The Count of Monte Cristo. Again, gift box ads on the back. I never heard of Classics Illustrated gift boxes. That's cool. I wonder if any of those actually still exist. Neat. So anyway, yeah, again, no price on this cover, but it's number 3, so I assume it's the same as the other one, and it's probably a 10 center, but no price. To me, it's weird that there's no price on them. I don't understand that. But again, the cover's split really bad, and yeah, it's completely unattached. So too bad, but very early version of this. This one only has a 36 number reorder on it. So this would have been even earlier than the number 2. But still perhaps not an original first edition. Hard to say without looking them all up individually. Number 156, Conquest of New Mexico. Again, somebody put a 25-cent price sticker on there. That's probably the same kind of thing that was, but done differently. Number 154, The Conspiracy of Pontiac. Some of these have notes on it. It says this one is a first edition, but I mean, I can't even vouch that they're still in the same bags and that actually applies to that. So here's number 28, Michael Strogoff by Jules Verne. Number 108, Knights of the Round Table. And let me zoom out just a little bit, because these are bigger books, and so they need a little bit more room. And then what is this? Classics Illustrated, a smaller version, number 170, but it's got a $9.99 price tag on it. I was not aware of a recent version of these. What's this? Copyright 2007. So these were apparently facsimiles or some sort. That I'm not aware of. So there's a whole, apparently a whole line of modern Classics Illustrated titles. And I'm gonna put this over here, and we'll show you a new one to look at while I look that up, because I want to know about that. Here's number 141, 15-cent cover, Castle Dangerous by Sir Walter Scott. And hopefully Grand Comics Database is working a little bit better today. There we go. Series name is Classics Illustrated. We'll see what comes up with that. Here's another one, number 162, 15 center. This is Bober the Conqueror by Jules Verne. I didn't realize Jules Verne had written so many different things. All right, Classics Illustrated. From 2007. Looks like it may be from a Canadian company. Check. Yep, there's the $9.95 price tag. So they only did 86 issues apparently, but they were so yeah, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 18, 19. So they skipped ones for some reason. Jack Lake Productions. Interesting. All right, never knew that. So if you're looking for, I guess if you just want to read them and have a nice copy of certain titles, that might be the way to go. Not sure why they had such a modern book in such an old beat up bag, but but there it is. And here's another one, The Man Without a Country, number 63. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, number 23. Please, sir, could I have some more? Why, yes, you can. Here is The Crisis, number 145. 137 is The Little Savage. This one's got a corner that came off in the bag. You see it sitting down there. This one, the corner's folded over. And here is King Solomon's Mines, number 97. Piece off top. Yeah, chunk missing here. Left corner gone. Through cover. Piece out of back cover. So apparently this is in pretty poor condition. We'll take a look real quick. Yeah, big chunk missing out of the back. So, and back's really dirty too. But story's all there. It's better than not having a copy. If you're a classics collector. And oh, it's an elephant. You know what that means? We got to do elephant jokes. And I just ripped the back cover off my elephant joke book. Damn it. My tape roller got stuck on the back page and it ripped it. Oh well, it's not actually a comic, so, but it's still something I think is cool. Elephant jokes, elephant jokes, elephant jokes. Da, 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 da. How do you stop an elephant from charging? Take away his credit card. Okay. We'll just make do with one joke. Number 11, Don Quixote. I never know how to say that. Number 37, The Pioneers by James Fenimore Cooper. Number 45, Tom Brown's School Days. And there's Moby Dick, number 5. 32, Lorna Doone. The Moonstone, number 30. Mysterious Island by Jules Verne. That story I have heard of. Good movie, too. The Downfall. Number 126. Number 149, Off on a Comet by Jules Verne. Number 112, Kit Carson. I had this one when I was a kid. I remember this cover because I thought that was a great cover when I was a kid. Still do, but yeah, that's cool. And Classics Illustrated 98, The Red Badge of Courage. I had that story too, but I don't think I had that cover. So probably a later one. Number 88, Men of Iron. And we're going to start getting out of range a little bit here. So I'm going to put these back in the box and grab some more. What time we got? Oh, well, at 34 minutes, so we can go a little bit longer. We'll get through the Classics Illustrated that are in this box anyway. There's some other stuff in here, but we'll finish up the Classics Illustrated today. Here's the Pilot, number 70. You see some corner missing down here. And when I do the claim show, I'll probably go through these a little bit better, so if you can see what you're getting, if you're concerned. Another Moby Dick, number 5. And here's something called the Octopus, 159. Looks like a Western, though. Man Without a Country, number 63. Kim, number 143. Number 27, The Adventures of Marco Polo. And here's a modern one. I was aware of this series. This is The Secret Agent. But I don't really know anything about it. I just was aware that there was this series. So let me, first of all, throw this nasty bag away because it's going to stick. Berkeley First Publishing. So First Comics or Berkeley Books or both. Copyright 1991, Berkeley Publishing Group and First Publishing. So basically First Comics, I guess. And here is number 107, King of the Khyber Rifles. 69, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Who else? The Spy by James Fenimore Cooper, number 51. Number 22, The Pathfinder by James Fenimore Cooper. And here's something by Robert Louis Stevenson, The Bottle Imp. And Captain Courageous by Rudyard Kipling. Pitcairn's Island, number 109. And here is a special issue, Classics Illustrated, The Atomic Age. It does have somebody wrote 25 cents on there and then put a store stamp right there from Davenport, Iowa. Miles Store, I guess it says. Furniture, antiques, and comic books that they didn't care about, so they put their stamp on it. Here's another Around the World in 80 Days. Basically the same cover art. I guess it's the same. It looks slightly different to me, but it's because of where the printing came off on the cover, I think. And there's another King of the Khyber Rifles. Sorry, just trying to put them together so if more than one person wants them, then it will make sense later. Where did it go? There it is. And those are both 15 centers as well. And here is number 58, The Prairie by James Fenimore Cooper. This one's in pretty rough shape. It's got really bad shipping around it. Yeah. That's probably, it's on the back's not even connected. Look, they got the back on the other side of the backing board. So that one's, yeah. If I end up with that one, I'll have to laminate it because it's not going to survive. 2 Years Before the Mass, number 25. The Black Arrow, number 31. And Pudd'nhead Wilson, number 93. And I think that was the Classics Illustrated. I may have more somewhere, but not today. So, yeah, I learned some stuff today. I did not know about that modern series out of Canada. That's kind of cool. And these seem to be in a very wide variety of condition. But, yeah. So, thanks for watching, everybody. If you can, check out the Batman serial at 6 o'clock tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow for more comics. Thanks for watching. See you soon.